Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Sulaiman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, Breaker of the Seven Seals. Welcome. Brothers and sisters, I've been giving you a lot of deep, dark secrets, revealing a lot of deep, dark secrets. They unveil the mystery of New Jerusalem. The mystery of New Jerusalem. Mr. Farrakhan, that dumbass, he said dumbass. You know, when there's no dumbass around anymore, you don't have to use that language anymore, will you? If there's no more devils around anymore, you don't have to use that language, devils anymore, will you? When there's no assholes around, you won't use that language, assholes around anymore, will you? You get my drift on this? The language is not inappropriate if it's used in context. If a person's an asshole, then you should call him an asshole. That's not profane. But if he's not, then it's profane. If there's none around him, why are you using that language? Why are you calling devils devils if there's no devils around? Get rid of all the devils. You don't have to use that language anymore. We got this shithole. You have to use that word shit anymore. You understand? We're in paradise. We'll talk the words of paradise. So why would you use the language of paradise in hell? Isn't that kind of dumb? We get in paradise, we use the language of paradise. As long as I'm in hell, I'm going to use the language of hell. So to let you know that you're in hell. Because they're trying to make you think that you're in paradise. That's why I don't want you to use that language. Oh, don't use that. Don't say shit. Don't say MF. Don't say that. Well, that's what we are. That you made us into MFs. Leadership, rape, murder. But you don't want to speak that. That's part of the deception trying to make you think, because everybody speaks the language of paradise and hell, and you psyched out think this is it. We're in paradise. See? Somebody says, hey man, it stinks in here. Oh, don't say that. So you're supposed to ignore the fact that it stinks, because they play with your mind. They're telling you, well, a man can get pregnant, and you know damn well it can't. But if you start accepting that, then what else will you accept behind that? Farrakhan pulling shit out of his ass and calling you honey. And you say, oh man, it smells like shit. They tell you that shit, but he said honey. See? I tell sisters, I say, just be careful because, you're beautiful, you're delicate, right? Try to avoid that language. Even though you catching more hell than anybody else. So that's a measure of your discipline. See? But we represent the strength. So we should be dealing with it head on. And should be called spade a spade, and horse a cow a cow. And when you start talking language of hell, people get tired of hearing that. What does that mean? They get tired of being in hell. Then they get the hell out of here. But we keep talking about, oh man, it smells good here, it's rosy, this is heaven. Then why would they want to leave? Maybe something wrong with their thinking. Everybody says heaven, it must be heaven. I mean, they see the language of heaven. I'm trying to get you to understand how they play with your mind, brothers and sisters. That's why I talk the way I talk and say what I say. I want you to remind you, right? Oh, he said, yeah, I'm saying that because it's real. I'm in a shit storm just like you. I'm covered with shit just like you. I'm not saying I'm covered with manure. Then once you understand you're covered with shit, what's the first thing you do when you realize you're covered with shit? You want to clean it off. And if you find you in a bowl of shit, you want to get out of that bowl. But as long as I keep telling you it's not shit in you, and everybody's telling you, think about it. Say, you find a person that stinks. They stink. They let it stink. But everybody's not afraid to tell them they stink. They're afraid to tell them, say, oh man, you smell good, man. How did the person think everything is okay? Because, you can't smell your own stink. Did you know that? Your nose get used to it. So they go around stinking. Until somebody says, man, you stink. Then they get offended, but then they realize they do. Then they got sense enough to go clean themselves up. But as long as they think, they might just continue being that way. And that's what they got you doing. Telling you, oh man, it's good here. You ain't in trouble. You're not a slave. You know, we love you. See? We always love you. You know, y'all give him a visa. And you buying that shit. See? So therefore, you want to stay here. When you got a gold mine waiting for you, you got paradise waiting for you. That's why I do what I do, to let you know. So, you call me whatever you want to call me, but I'm letting you know, right, that you stink. We all stink. We all need a bath. We get the hell out of here. So Pharaoh can't tell, you know. You see? So you gotta be like him. Because he's in paradise over here. And you want to stay here. Brothers and sisters, I'm doing my very best to get you to be real, understand what's going on. When it's shitstorm here. And so when you start talking like that, people be offended because they don't want to hear that kind of talk. Then you say, well, what else am I saying? When it's shitstorm, I'm not supposed to say shitstorm? And then they start realizing it's shitstorm. They're in a shithole, right? They're in a bowl of shit. And when they start realizing that, because you keep telling them, because somebody else could tell them this ain't shit. See? This is just your imagination. You got schizophrenia. See? You just take some of these drugs to cover the shit. See, something wrong with just smelling. So we'll give you the drug, because you say it smells like shit. Well, then, all you need, here's some drugs here, so you won't smell it, because it's something wrong with your nose. You ain't in shit. I mean, how can you call this shit, man? Something wrong with your nose. So take these drugs, so now here you go. They playing with your mind, brothers and sisters. Like I was explaining to someone today, you know, they said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and getting a different result. Isn't that what they say it is? Then they tell you. Because they know you're doing it fail when you understand that way. Because you give up easy. It didn't work, you better walk away. That's also the definition of perseverance, ain't it? Because you keep doing the same thing. That's the whole story about the walls of Jericho. You keep doing the same thing over and over. That's resonance. Keep doing the same over and over again, expecting a different result. Yeah, I'm going to keep on hitting it. I expect it to break. It ain't breaking, but I expect it to break if I keep on hitting it. And eventually it does. That's perseverance. But they tell you that because they want you to weak. They tell their children, that's perseverance. See, they play with your mind again. Same definition, but the definition give you that you're insane for keep on persisting. The children, you're smart, you persevering. See, you're energetic, you're gonna be successful. Why? You smart. See, because you keep on, you don't give up. You're playing with your mind, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to clear you up. I'm telling you what it really is. You're the shithole here. You're not free. You're still a slave. You're just an industrial slave. Right? You still walk around master's names on. That means he still owns you. You walk around naked sisters. You don't have any modesty. They took it away from you. You was modest when you came over here. They the ones, the beasts that had no modesty. They took it away from you. You walk around with a little string up your ass, and you ask me how you figure, how the hell you figure you got clothes on? You wear more clothes in bed than you wear out in the street. Yes, some little thing, you might as well spray some black paint. Right? Over your nakedness, and what will be the difference? And a little rag right there, and a little string up your ass. You're naked. They tell you hot. Yeah, you hot, all right. You'll be really hot. If you keep acting like that there, right? And you'll be really hot. You'll be really hot. You're HIV hot. See? You be monkeypox hot. You be syphilis hot. You be really hot then, won't you? Let's move on, brothers and sisters. New Jerusalem, the mystery of it. I'm going to reveal it to you, brothers and sisters, so you understand it. This is a time of revealing deep, dark secrets because it's time to go home. All the signs are there. All the numbers add up. 42 years of son of perdition. right? JCPOA, right? I can go on and on and on. All the numbers add up. Okay? So we're here now. And everything is hot. If you're paying attention to news, everything's hot. It's getting hotter and hotter in China. It's getting hotter over in Korea threatening, North Korea threatening nuclear war. Right? See? It's in all that they might get ready to test a nuclear weapon. Biden already threatened Iran, says, we have a regime change. Means they're going to take out Iran. That's what you said the other day. Then you got this that's going on in Ukraine. And those are three areas I warned you about for 30 years. And now they're hot. Oh, they're hot. But Master Muhammad's going to make his move. They're going to be really hot then. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. New Jerusalem. Let's see what that's all about. Now, I've been setting you up for this. Right? I'll show you in a minute if I can. Boy, I tell you this. New Jerusalem. Now, Farrakhan tell you New Jerusalem is the wheels. Master Muhammad's wheels. He's like he's a dumbass. He's stupid. But he's a demon. He's doing an excellent job. Because he's like a lightning rod. He's bringing all his demons to him. And the Nation of Islam takes it to the bank. In a few more days, it's going to break into schism. It's going to break into. See? And barring any unforeseens, right? They run into me. Okay? Because this truth is perfect and undeniable. No flaws in it. Okay? And all that stuff he's talking about is going to be revealed as corrupt and stinking and everything else once this war starts. It's going to break in two. There's going to be some bloodshed. Farrakhan. Oh, there's going to be some bloodshed. Okay? And to read Exodus, oh, some dramatic things going to happen in a few days that you can't imagine. I even told you about. It's so much. You see, every day I'm telling you something new. A lot of deep, dark secrets, brothers and sisters. It's about to break in half. Not in half, it's going to break in two. I never say half. It's going to break in two. A few more days. And famine's coming. Well, famine's on the way. Some of us already touched you, but you don't realize it yet. Famine's a famine like you never, ever expected, because this country has always had food since they came over here. That's what Thanksgiving's all about, because the natives of the country, they had a banquet for them. They never saw so much food in their life. And that was a mistake. The natives shouldn't know what they were dealing with. They just told them we was poverty, having any food, and have to go and look for India where they was looking for all that food. And they said, they took all the food and probably ate some of the natives too. A famine's here coming, brothers and sisters. I mean, I'm not talking about a short famine. I'm talking about a serious famine that you won't sit into it unless you're on the menu, because you will not be one of the diners. Famine's coming. A few more days. Hell is on the way. You should already feel the smoke and the fire, flames of it now. Hell on the way. Famine's coming. 9 plagues is coming. That war. Famine's coming. It's going to whip you, right? Like you can never even imagine. This famine's coming. War's right with it. Famine, war. Economic collapse. It's all coming in. One big package. Going to drop your doorstep. And And you don't have to ring the bell when it drops, because it's going to drop so loud, you know. It's coming. A few days. Famine. War. Economic collapse. And disease. Oh, I never mentioned that one, did I? Disease. I'm not talking about the 9 plagues that's going to ravage. That's Armageddon. No. Plague is coming too. Because famine produces plague. Why? Because the people are suffering, starving, right? Their immune systems break down. So that means they take and cultivate diseases and the virus and the ones they may have to control, lose control of it. They're talking about monkeypox or what's coming with is worse than monkeypox. Monkeypox on the way. Now they're worrying about what's that? Ebola. Ebola's coming. It's a nasty one. It's one big package, brothers and sisters. That's why it says, "Come out of her, my people, that you would never take her plagues," with S. Farrakhan said, "Don't stay here. Just come out of her religion. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her names." Okay, you listen to that bullshit, you'll be right here in the middle of it. It says come out. When they say come out, they mean come out. Oh, well, get the hell out of here. Like in Sodom and Gomorrah. Oh, Abraham and Lot. Just come out her names. Just come out her costumes and stuff. Really? Is that what God said? He said, "Come out here, and I'm gonna send a shitstorm on top of y'all, and it's gonna be so smart. You know, these are smart bombs, smart meteors." See, because they look at you and say, "Oh, that's one of Lot's people." Also, hit that devil over there. That's the way it's work. Is that what? And he's telling you, "Oh, well, you stay here, you'll be worried." Then why is he wearing a damn mask? Why is he wearing a damn mask if you don't have to worry about nothing? Well, I mean, or buy a pair of shoes. So why is he wearing a mask? He's alive. He's one of the demons. I wasn't wearing a mask because COVID, that thing was supposed to. It says it will kill 1619 to 2019. That's 40 years, and there will be a plague that will kill the firstborn, which is elderly, and pass over us. And that's exactly what it did. They kept telling you blacks were dropping like flies. That was a lie. They finally stopped telling it because it wasn't affecting Black Africa, it wasn't affecting Haiti, and it wasn't affecting us. It was affecting the demons, the devil's children, slave master children, house Negroes. That's why Farrakhan is wearing a mask. He's one of his followers of the devil. Take my word for it, just Google it. Okay? So if you just come out, if that's all it's going to protect you. See, but I'm move on, brothers and sisters. Because this is so ridiculous, it's hardly worth even mentioning. He says plagues coming. Elijah Muhammad said America can be burned down. But Farrakhan said he's following Elijah. But Elijah says it's going to totally burn. He said, "Master, I'm going to burn the whole place down." But no, somehow it's going to bypass you. But now he's telling you, listen, he says plagues always come to America, right? That's what he claimed, right? But then he says, America ain't going to be invaded. Well, that's bullshit. Anyway, all the things he said coming. Okay, now, you are here. Now, he was wearing a mask. He wasn't worried about those plagues bypassing him. He wearing a mask. But these plagues come here. Now, you think because you ain't in the church, and maybe you got an X by your name, and they ain't pickleball them anymore or whatever, right? And you in a FOI uniform or MGT uniform, somehow that plague gonna say, "Hey, ignore that person." War's gonna say, "Ignore that person." The plagues that's about to hit Babylon is gonna bypass you just because of that. Is that what you think? Are you that goddamn stupid? Because you wasn't going to church and you wasn't worshiping Christmas, that plague say, "Oh, that's a good one. I'm just not going to touch her or him." And you believe that goddamn shit? Okay. New Jerusalem. Boy, he's got a filthy mouth. Hey, let me see. For 40 years, you felt us. You fed us what? Shit, right? Shillings? Cow chips? What am I supposed to have? A Pepsi breath? Many people. Brothers, we got to get the hell out of here. Yeah. Ooh, man, I tell you. And, but I tell you, okay, here, what happened here? Let's back up. Well, I can go from here. I can go from here. Okay. I mentioned I was building up this, I was talking about this 6,000 to 12,000 years. Devils had 6,000 years of rule. They had 12,000 years of history. Why? Because, let me put it this way, because I was going to do a graphic, but I said, well, I better off explaining that thing. If I do a graphic, I will. We start entering energy deprivation 50,000 years ago. So, as 50,000 years ago, going deeper and deeper to the universe expanding. So you get energy deprivation started 50,000 years ago, we got weaker and weaker. Go ahead, less energy. Until 6,000 years ago, it was so weak we started losing control of our ability to have a civilization, to rule the planet. So we were stuck because we went from the mathematical standard to religious standard, it was getting weaker and weaker. Our minds getting weaker and weaker because they energy control everything. So we got down, we had less control of the planet until we got down 6,000 years ago, we started losing less control of our basic civilization. Man, you control the planet is one thing, control your civilization, control your personal self, control your family, all these different levels of control. So at 6,000 years ago, we started losing control of the civilization. So we were in Adam, who had required less energy, and gave him rulership, which would last for 6,000 years. Now, say at that time, at 50,000 years ago, the pressure was 50,000 pounds per square inch, right? 50,000 years ago, it said 50 pounds per square inch, right? See? Or let's say 50,000 years ago. Okay, let's say 50,000 years ago, 50 pounds per square inch, right? That's the pressure. Pressure is thought. Thought is pressure, rather. Now, pressure is thought, but thought is pressure. Difference, because all pressure ain't thought, but thought is pressure. So, 50,000 years ago, pressure 50,000 pounds per square inch. Then it reduces 6,000 pounds per square inch 6,000 years ago. So it was less pressure, our ability to think was lower, right? Because we totally sync with the pressure universe, right? So we had less energy because the more energy, the more pressure. So as the energy goes down, the pressure goes down because energy is also temperature, how fast things are moving. So, and that the greater temperature, the greater pressure. So the temperature went down. That temperature is why, Master Muhammad said, thought travels approximately 24 billion miles per second, right? Because he's giving you those terms. We're telling you it's like temperature. It's how fast they're moving. That means if temperature changes, temperature goes up or down, your thought process will go up and down. That's what I said, but you don't understand that. Right? Okay. Maybe I just say it again. The reason why I said thought travels at 24 billion miles per second, because he was telling you that it's like temperature. Because temperature is how fast atoms are moving. So he says once it achieves 24 billion miles per second, that's high temperature. That's also high pressure. So if the temperature goes down, that means it moves slower than 24 billion miles per second. Right? It means the pressure goes down. It means your thought process goes down. See? So our thought process went down 6,000 years ago. We didn't have enough thought pressure to maintain our control of our civilization. We also lost control of our land because we was pushing Africa, Southern Africa, because Arabia is Africa, North Africa. So we lost control. So we began to lose control of our civilization 6,000 years ago. So we made a person that required less energy, so they'd have disposable income, so to speak, so they could control it for 6,000 years. And they was creating that period. So they could withstand the pressure up to they couldn't withstand the pressure above 6,000 pounds per square inch. They could withstand the pressure 6,000 per square inch and lower because they they get more powerful as they get weaker, as our thought process go down, they become more powerful. And relative to us. See? Because they have this sort of energy, but we lose control. And so when you lose control, someone else has control over you. I'll move on, brothers and sisters. Anyway, so the pressure drops. I'm not saying that's the exact number. I'm just giving you an analogy. So the pressure drops down to 6,000 pounds per square inch 6,000 years ago. So we bring in the personification about that situation, which we call the devils. Then it keeps on going down to present time, down to 1800s, where it got down to zero. Now we know it don't actually to zero, but I'm just giving you an analogy, try to understand how the pattern works. So we was down to E. We had no control of anything. We was on E, empty. That's at work point in our lives. At that point, we was totally devastated. Right? We had a spark of life left. So we have a spark of life left. It was beset by demons. Right? We were totally under master's control. Right? Our women was being raped, and so they produced a whole hybrid of demons. Totally messed, totally devastated. We came within that close to be annihilated. See? And then the universe starts contracting. So energy waves start coming back. So the first positive one came back in 1860. Now the point I'm trying to make here is there's 6,000 years to go from 6,000 pounds per square inch to 0 pounds per square inch. Now as the energy starts increasing again, right? It takes 6,000 years to get back up to 6,000 pounds per square inch, which is their limit. That's how much they can take. Anything above that destroys them. You understand? So that means they actually had 12,000 years of history. But the last 6,000 years, we're rising. So they don't have power over us anymore. See? We control them. But so they can only rule that 6,000 year period. And they lost a lot of that. 2,000 here, 1,000 there. They lost actually 3,000 they lost. Because they were so disciplined. See? Because they require that to be taught discipline. The point I'm trying to make is 6,000 years ago to 1860s. In the 1860s, we started getting energy waves. I explained that and how it connects to music and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do it here. So the point I'm trying to make is energy that base started 50,000 years ago. 1860 got down to zero. 50,000 pounds per square inch down to zero. And now it's increasing again. So it'll take 50,000 years to get back to 50,000 pounds per square inch again. See? But in 6,000 years from now, we'll be back to where we were 6,000 years before. We have control our civilization again. That I hope you understand, because that's going to be important in what I'm going to try to explain to you in a minute. So it's going to take 6,000 years for us to get back. See? But normally, right, without any intervention, they would still rule us for another 6,000 years. See? They got stronger and stronger as we got weaker and weaker and weaker. Now we get stronger, but they will get weaker, right? Their control will be weaker over us. For 6,000 years to finally break. But that's not what's going to happen. Because he's watching them. That's what New Jerusalem's all about. Hope you understand that. So, 6,000 years, 6,000 pounds per square inch. We're down, so we got worse and worse and worse. So now we're lifted up. So if you're on the third floor, you're going to the first floor, right? Down to the basement. Well, you still got to go to the first, second, third floor again and get back to the third floor again, right? So if they start ruling us who's on the third floor and they rule us even more on the second floor, and they rule us even more on the first floor, they total control of us on the basement, then that means you got the first floor, they still ruling us, right? They have less rule, you got to say they have less rule, third floor, they lose rule altogether, but they still will reverse the process. So if we we didn't do anything, and there wasn't any wisdom, then they would still be ruling us for another 6,000 years. It'd be we could rule, but they'd still be ruling us for the next 6,000 years. That's where New Jerusalem comes in. And then it was all before your eyes all the time. You people are studying it. Then, Joe, it was before your eyes, but you didn't notice it. Maybe you did, just to tell me. All right, so let me go in here and see this. Oh, oops. Right there. See that? That's New Jerusalem. Farrakhan tell you that's the will. You know what they're talking about. It's a mystery behind it. See the structure right there? That's the so-called ark also. That's New Jerusalem at the top. The top four layers: elect, Syria, Iran, Levites, Arabs. That's New Jerusalem. So new heavens, new earth. The Arabs and the saint, they represent new earth. New heavens is what's on top of them. Now I'm not going into all the details about that, but I'm trying to give you the basic idea about what's going on here. Okay? Keep that in mind. Now see here. Now 6,000 years ago, what's on it right here? Who's all golden? That's where we came over. Who's all golden? Who's all golden? But being all golden, right, we was totally, we didn't have enough energy to maintain being golden after 6,000 years ago. That's why we started declining. 6,000 years, we were still golden. See? That's why you see in chapter 1, they say there's sort of 7 golden churches. That's no story together nonsense. But who was golden originally? All gold, that's original. People that are called black, but we're really gold people. Our skin's not really black, it's golden. And you see the Africans, you got the Africans over there, those Levites, they're really dark. But the church bars, they weren't black, they were golden. See? Levites, they was black. Who golden? See? They were black. That's why it says gold and silver. See, gold is golden, but silver can be black. That's why Levi's called silver. See, that's why they call it a black horse. See? Because it was black, we were golden and complex in our skin tone. But anyway, that's where we came over here. Okay? And then on the left there is what we became. What we will become, that's New Jerusalem. See, that's old Jerusalem. On the left is New Jerusalem. Right, old Jerusalem, on the left is New Jerusalem. Now, what do I mean by that? Keep that in mind. See, let's move on to the next one here. Old Jerusalem and New Jerusalem. Now, see, Master Muhammad, his father, see, you don't know the mystery behind Master Muhammad, so let these ties in together. Master Muhammad, in order to avoid energy deprivation, right, he took the body of a devil, which didn't suffer energy deprivation, but he kept the mind of original. That's why he's able to act like we used to act, no sleep, any of those type of things. He doesn't suffer energy deprivation, but he has to work hard at it. He has to make those classes 7, 8, 9 hours, read the Quran 8, 9 hours. So he has to work hard to maintain it, but he has it. Because he took on the body of Yaku's creation, which didn't require that much energy. That's why he's like that. That's why he is. That's the mystery behind him, right? So how do we keep the devils from ruling us for the next 6,000 years? See? Because that's New Jerusalem. And it's just like Master Muhammad. Because the top, that's the original, surrounded by, because remember he said he's going to use the sheet as a rod of iron. You understand? Daniel understand about the rod of iron. And so we will be in the center, Mecca, and surrounded by all the Shia, because we had to make our nation like this. So our nation, our civilization would not suffer any deprivation. See, we don't suffer any deprivation. We stop suffering any deprivation personally. You see? Personally, actually in 1948. But we stopped suffering it personally, but we still suffer it because we still have our civilization together. See? We don't have control of that yet. And we're about to get control of that. Because this is Suleiman's idea. Because he says this constructed this way, and then he gives the kingdom to Master Muhammad, a kingdom that will last forever. But now we give it to other people. We become one people. But it tells you, Elijah Muhammad tells you that there will not be, he says there will not be, he has some knowledge of this, because he said there will be no, it only be original people, in other words, the skin tone. So we'll be the white people, anything like that there. So we'll all be the skin tone 9,000 years from now. Because we return back to where we were, all gold again. But we can't. We have to be like Master Muhammad, right? We have to have a body, a devil's body. That's what the Shia gives us. Original mind. I told you stuff right in front of your face, bro, sister. That's how we can take and get control, keep them controlling us, and we control them. Otherwise, they would have control of us for the next 6,000 years. That's the mystery of New Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. Now, you see Africa there, right? The relative of Africa, right? Remember, they didn't go through any deprivation like we did. I mean, they went through the degree. Okay? But they kept their own land and everything else. So that's still on that level. And then what the Arabs do, they turn light. They avoid it. See on the bottom. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. See, that's the mystery of New Jerusalem. Because it reflects it's the nature of Master Muhammad. So we have the energy to maintain that civilization structured like that. And that will last, that particular structure, specifically for 6,000 years. That would say, Master Muhammad is God of this season, 6,000 years. That's why I keep saying that. See, that's why I say, brothers and sisters, if you're going to study this, you're going to quote me accurately, because I'm built towards something. I don't say those things for no reason. I say those things because I'm building on it. Right? It's a point in time I explain to you. I say, he'll be the God this season. Because this season, it requires a God like him, a made God, because like Muhammad said, Master Muhammad is a made God. He's not an original God, he's a made God for this particular purpose. Like Muhammad said, the body has to be prepared. I don't think that's in the message of the black man. He said, it might be in there. He said, the body had to be prepared. That's why Master Muhammad had to get a Caucasian wife or a woman to have a child, so he would not suffer any deprivation, but he had a mind of original. And so Jerusalem had to be prepared the same way, because you can't have all the original, because we would suffer any deprivation as a civilization, so therefore the devil will still control us. But now this structure, that's a structure that can maintain with the discipline, right? Master Muhammad supplied discipline to the Shia, right? To have a civilization that could take control. We couldn't take control, it was all original people. No, let me back up. It was all golden, all tribe of Shabazz couldn't do it. But they'd have control of us for another 6,000 years. So with this configuration, right, because the Shia doesn't suffer energy deprivation. Okay? And he's the God, he controls them. Okay? But that's why he said, that's why I see twin angels, they incorporate each other, because one's spatial and one's technical, one's spatial analytical. So they incorporate each other, one says be, the other says is. So therefore, that's the work together. And that configuration, right? And then you got the Levites there, they're ambidextrous. They still remain ambidextrous like they were before. That's why, that's part of the reason why we came over here. That's why part of a lot of things happened to form this particular structure right here. Now, I told you what Obama's structure, I'm not getting to that, but there's something, Anyway, the point is that that's the structure that's the mystery behind New Jerusalem. Because if you listen to Farrakhan and those clowns, right, then they have control of us the next 6,000 years again. This is New Jerusalem. That's the mystery behind it. So Master Muhammad is a God. Because he doesn't suffer any deprivation. The Shia doesn't suffer any deprivation. And that's what he said he will rule with. His rod of iron. See? But he's in sync. He says faithful and true. So he's in sync with tribe of Shabazz and the Lamb, Suleiman, son of man, because Suleiman is called his spiritual son. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, I'm getting the mathematics of what's going on here, how it all works. So it says Suleiman's idea to do this. Because remember, he gives the kingdom to Master Muhammad. So he comes up with the idea, we do it this way, he gives the kingdom to Master Muhammad. Kingdom that will last forever, never be destroyed, given to other people. So well, I thought you said, no, because at that point in time, like I said, we're all one nation, and eventually, right, all of it just be golden. Because we're one people. That's why I told you, I says, it won't be any tribes anymore, we're one people. See, I don't just say these things, brothers and sisters. I say things for a reason, because I'm building on something. As I told you, we're going to be one people again. That's what we're giving other people. So right now, we would like to see some of our people, just like Master Muhammad is our people, but some energy deprivation, same thing as Shia, they are people, there's some energy deprivation. That's why we did a lot of things we did. That's why we wanted the Shia to be like they are. We wanted them to go like they are, so they turn white, so they would be some energy deprivation. So we can bring this, so we can shorten the devil's rule by 6,000 years. Because they actually had 12,000 years. We cut it short. We took 3,000 years from them already. We put them in a cave for 2,000 years, and we put them in an abyss for 1,000 years. That's 3,000 years altogether. Because their lack of discipline. But they had 6,000 more years to rule. And we said, hell with that. Those days will be short, and that's another reason why he said. So we come up with this configuration, right, that will put it into that kills it. Now there'll still be 6,000 years. That 6,000 years they'd be in hell. They would still be 6,000 years. They still could survive 6,000 years in hell. And then they'll be just crushed out of existence. So we have control of them, pushing up there. Now, if they had discipline, oh man, but we don't give it to them. He says, we will not give them any information, any guys, anything when they're, because they got discipline up in there. Oh man, that'd be trouble. I'm revealing this now because they can't recover discipline. Too late. That's why I'm not revealing earlier, because they figured out earlier, they would, man, maybe they turned around and, being good, Muslims or something, and then we'd be in trouble. They turn around and turn back to scripture and try to obey the laws and everything. Oh man, we've been in trouble. Because they got 6,000 more years. So I can reveal it now. Because they can't recover fast enough. Master Muhammad can make a move. Right? That's why Elijah Muhammad said that the scientist says that if they did repent, the scientist said, no, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Why did Elijah Muhammad say that? Elijah Muhammad said, if they decided to repent and start being righteous, the scientist said, no, don't do that. Why did Elijah Muhammad say? He said in Theology of Time, so maybe you go and find it. Say, why would you want to repent? Because then they have continued roots saying, no, I don't do it. We don't want to do that. That's why I never mentioned it before. Because it's too late for them to do it now. That's why I mentioned it to now. But it was right there in front of your face all the time. Because if they did, then they could have room for 6,000 more years. We don't want that. Could we survive another 6,000 years with these people? Could the plant survive it? No. That's what I'm telling you now. I've said as much I can tell you, brothers and sisters. I can't tell you. For some I can't tell you because of timing. Some I can't tell you because I'm telling them. Some I just can't because you ain't ready to hear it. But that's the story. That's the mystery behind New Jerusalem. It can be revealed now. The mystery of God. All this stuff revealed now. The mystery of God, the mystery of New Jerusalem. It's to be revealed. Who's revealed? I am. See? That's part of the mystery of God. So in those days, the mystery of God will be revealed. I'm going to get into a little more of that a few more days, I think. So when they talk about the mystery of God, they're partly talking about New Jerusalem. What's the mystery of it? You didn't even know there was a mystery of it. That's the mystery. It says Suleiman is the one. He's the one who would be allowed to build a temple. He had the wisdom to do it. And it's in the angel. It's not in a place else. He had the wisdom to do it. And then, ancient day, then he gives it to Master Muhammad, and Master Muhammad rules it for 6,000 years. That's why I kept saying 6,000 years. They had this first season, right? That's the winter season. Dr. Yaqub gave them, right? And then it has they were supposed to rule winter and spring. We put no more. That's it. That's the mystery of New Jerusalem. I hope you understand, but so I'm gonna leave it there. That's the mystery of New Jerusalem. I was gonna talk about other things, but I don't want to dilute this message. So I'm just going to talk about this, but I was going to talk about the other thing I was talking about. It's just a repeat on thought. How thought connects to what's going on, right? An American dream. I've talked about that already this week. I was going to elaborate on it, but I want you to understand it. Brothers and sisters, are you going to be part of this? Are you part of New Jerusalem? Got the elect at 144,000. Then you got the Nation of Islam, right? The Levites, the Elijah raised, that Suleiman has to re-raise, right? They got prophets. But who knows what they're going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. Understand, brothers and sisters? Hope you understand. I'm going to leave it there. Mystery of New Jerusalem. Oh, oops. Let me see. I forgot that part. Oops. Well, brothers, I got a little. See here? This is what it looked like. And we're at Mecca. Okay? That's the original mind inside the white body. White body represents the ship will be all around, right? All around Arabia. They probably that would be focused in Arabia, mostly around Mecca. And there'll be, well, remember, we're all one people, but they'll be around us. And then around them, right, behind them will be Southern Africa, which it says Elijah would rule. So in other words, Suleiman would be in the center, Mecca. See? With the elect. Around them would be Master Muhammad. His throne would be in Jerusalem. Here, all the areas around, right? That's the way. They don't suffer energy deprivation. We still suffer from a form of energy deprivation. Remember, it took 50 years, so within 50 years come out of totally. But energy deprivation is not personal, right? It's enough energy deprivation in the sense of having civilization. But we solved that because now we have a civilization that doesn't require as much energy. You understand what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? And we got Master Muhammad. So now we got a civilization of requirement. So now we can control that civilization. Okay? So that's Master Muhammad. And outside of him are Levites. And they're still ambidextrous. And outside of him is the Arabs. The Arabs represent the new earth. Others represent the new heavens. So this kingdom that requires less energy to maintain it, that's the formula again. So the devils will have no control of us anymore. We have control of them. We push them up into hell and lock them up there for 6,000 years. And then after 6,000 years, 6,000 years, we're back to all gold again. And we just get better and better and better and better and better. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Okay. So I am going to leave it there. Okay, this. Assalamu alaikum. Oops. I'm not going to that. Oh, yes. Oh, here we go.